Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/get-started. That's greenlight.com/get-started.
The movie manages to make learning physics interesting. How could you not like it?
Because learning is boring, Noah. Learning's boring.
He's got you there.
No, he doesn't. He does not have me there.
Whoa, what happened to the studio?
Yeah, Eli, did you do this?
Not me. This is way too barren for my before-show shenanigans.
Halt! Who goes there?
Cecil, it's us, man.
Oh, hey guys.
Is that a harpoon gun? What is all this?
Oh, this is Tom's before show shenanigans.
I don't get it. His essay is about how we've imagined future technology, right?
Yeah, well, I guess this is how Tom imagines the future. You know, climate change, nuclear war, that sort of thing.
Right, got it.
It's kind of a bummer here.
Yeah, well, it is. It's Tom's imagination.
Yeah, sure. Oh, hey, speaking of nuclear war.
It's a boring movie, Noah. No one liked it but you.
Everyone liked it but you.
I liked it.
See, Tom liked it.
Hello and welcome to the Citation Needed podcast, where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm unemployed. I mean, I am now a full-time podcaster, and this is my job from now on. And I'm joined by other people who exist at various levels of employment. Tom, Eli, Noah, and Heath.
I'm doing the Floyd part employment.
Yeah.
That's what my dad said. Last words.
I'm doing the part. You know, Beginning. That's the first part.
I'm sorry, but Cecil's been homeless for a full week now, and he is still talking about it. Like, when are we going to be
oh my God.
done? Exhausting.
Hey, look, I still have a day job, but I'm still not very good at it. So, you know, there's...
Oh, there you go.
Non-patrons, do you know what a gap in a resume means? Do you know what that means? Well, I'm about to find out. If you'd like to make sure that this doesn't sting as bad as I think it will, be sure to stick around until the end of the show and learn how to become a patron. With that out of the way, tell us, Tom, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event we'll be talking about today?
The world of tomorrow.
All right. Well, you obviously busied yourself researching prophetic cartoons, so tell us about that.
Okay. All right. Listen, my wife and I were excited. You don't have to hurt me.
I like the Jetsons.
I do like the Jetsons.
Me too.
All right. Haley and I were excited when we recently learned that Futurama had returned yet again to television with new episodes. And since it had been a while since we'd watched the old ones, we decided to watch the series from the beginning. And I knew immediately that I had hit citation needed pay dirt. I mean, our desire to imagine the future, not just to invent, but to dream of what could be invented. And then to imagine a world not just populated, but defined by these creations, is at once so delightfully optimistic and hopelessly naive that I am fascinated, not so much by what they suggest about the future, but what they tell us about our present. And since it seems clear to us all that we're living in a simulation currently being run on a very glitchy computer, now seems like a good time as any to point to ourselves and laugh while there's still a future to imagine.
Is there a dock in your TV room, or do you have to get in a car to stare longingly in the sunset over waves, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, houseboats solve a lot of those problems, Cecil. Like, it just...
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, very insensitive response to the homeless
Thank
guy.
you.
Unhoused. No,
Yeah.
unhoused.
We got to get you a cup.
Oh, yes.
Cup. Ain't a tin.
All right, so let's start with Futurama and the suicide booth. The suicide booth is, as you might suspect, a phone booth-esque street corner contraption where, in the show for a quarter, users can shuffle off this mortal coil. While the suicide booth is not, in fact, in use and available with street corner ubiquity, it is not available.
Yeah, I mean, if you jump the turnstile, the New York City subways are free. They just
In 2021, a Swiss company invented a 3D printed suicide pod. It is about the size of, well, a phone booth, although somewhat less boxy in design. The suicide pod allows its users to enter and then, when they're ready, flood the chamber with nitrogen and to, of course, die as a result. The pod is not without controversy. As noted by Kirsten Noel Wickinger, a doctor, lawyer, and professor at the University of Zurich, quote, and I love this quote, medical devices are regulated because they are supposed to be safer than other products. Just because a product is not beneficial to health does not mean that it is not also affected by these additional safety requirements. End quote.
I feel like Apple's probably already trademarked suicide pods. I should look into
Elon
that.
Musk's going to rename Twitter that next week. There you go.
yeah, sure. and besides, by the time you finish 3D printing something the size of a phone booth, you'd be dead of old age anyway. So it's all kind of pointless. Yeah.
Really? Yes. No, but let's not overlook the obvious here. What does a safe suicide pod look like in Kirsten's mind?
It's got caution tape.
Yeah, I got to get OSHA in here to check this. This is a sharp edge right on this
Like
corner,
a
right?
couple railings.
Owie.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You come out of it because it didn't work. You're like, I survived. And you sue somebody. And of course, both the Jetsons and Futurama and The Fifth Element, and just about every cheesy imagine the future TV or movie trope, has embraced the flying car. And in all of these, flying cars are operated without the bothersome use of wings or rotors or any other visible means of propulsion. Though I will say it was only in the Jetsons that the car also folded up somehow into a nice briefcase. So that was good.
Cool.
And although they don't fit into briefcases and we're not yet bounding about the skies in our flying cars, we may be terrifyingly getting closer. Just this year, the FAA cleared yet another California startup company's stupid flying car.
Okay. I feel like Tom's just mad because they're not bringing back that explodey air balloon bench jumpy thing that he told us about in the Forgotten Sports episode.
I am, man. It's not the only reason
I'm
I'm
a little
mad.
bitter about that
It
too.
seems
Yeah,
super
right.
fun. I agree.
Now, flying cars are also called VTOLs, or vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. The idea is that you can just drive them around like a car or fly them about like a sort of like helicopter, airplane, drone sort of a thing. And while the tech is admittedly pretty cool, consider this. Cars, just regular cars, typically get to drive on marked roadways that you can see and that which have things like stop signs and traffic lights. And I mean, cars really only go forward, backward, and left and right. And still in 2022, 46,000 people died in car accidents. And that's without a single one of them plummeting from the sky after a fender bender. And still, the future is coming whether we like it or not. And I think you'll all be excited to know that Uber Elevate launched in 2019 to begin building the infrastructure to exploit its workers, not just on land, but also in the air. So the next time you're drunk and looking for a ride, you can eschew piling into a car with a stranger who totally pinky swears that he will not murder you, that you can stagger into a privately owned and maintained helicopter that you micro rented with a free cell phone app, and then puke out the window onto pedestrians.
Okay, that's good or bad? Like, I'm genuinely not sure what Tom's position is right now, pro or con about this.
I feel like he might be against flying machines in general.
Just flying?
Oh, I don't think they
Yeah,
have to
no,
fly.
that's- solid.
The Jetsons also imagined a future with a robot made to clean the house, which I totally understand, though looking back, I have deep misgivings about the apron and maid's cap that they insisted on dressing
Yeah.
the robot in.
I don't.
Although we don't have anthropomorphized robot women keeping house for us, we do have the Roomba, which shouldn't be anywhere near as interesting as it actually is. The Roomba, that like anemic little disc that gets stuck under your couch and scares your cat, while pretending to vacuum. That fucking thing is based on technology made to clear minefields.
You know what, Tom? You think the maid outfit is bad. Somewhere in the world, there's a fleshlight taped to a Roomba, and that is a dark alley you do not want to walk down. You
It's
just want
called
to stay
the
away.
Woomba, Cecil, and some people call it bleeding edge state-of-the-art technology.
I mean, the way it bumps into shit, it was just begging for that at a certain
I wasn't.
point,
I
right?
was not in favor until I found out the pun name, and now I'm 100% on board.
And now he'll fuck that robot. Got to do something with his time.
All right, I promise I won't.
And now I'll fuck that robot.
All right, now I promise I won't go too far down a Roomba rabbit hole.
That's what
After
Cecil
all, I would-
said.
Caliente.
I would just get stuck endlessly bumping back and forth if I tried. But
Caliente.
the history of this consumer product is worth a quick diversion. The company, iRobot, was founded in 1990. And like I said, they were originally building robots for defense contracts. That algorithm that lets your Roomba tack to and fro, building a digital map of where it's going and where it's been, that was designed to automate the clearing of minefields. The iRobot guys, though, they actually wanted to build the robot vacuum, but the tech was too expensive and complicated, and it was just much more profitable for them to develop robot tech and sell it to the military. So the Roomba in your living room began its life as a terrestrial minesweeper, then evolved into underwater, like walking crab robots detecting mines in the surf zone. And they have another version, the Packbot, which searched the ruins of the World Trade Center towers for survivors. But believe it or not, their goal from day one was always to develop just a consumer vacuum cleaner. Also, naming the Roomba was more difficult than the imagined process, and the Roomba came perilously close to being named Cybersuck.
Well, that'd be infringing on Tesla's trademark, though, I think.
Yeah, no, they don't want to.
So, while I can't promise you a world of tomorrow, listener, I can promise you a conclusion of this essay after the break. I can't believe Eli has a time machine.
Yeah, no, he's got a guy.
I got a guy, yeah, sure.
Hey, fellas, welcome.
Wow. Eli, you are so old.
I know, I sure am, Tom.
So, what do you guys have here in the future? Like flying cars?
Yep, got flying cars.
Nice. You got the cure for cancer?
Oh, yeah, baby, big time.
Well, let's see it.
Oh, you wanted to see it? Absolutely. Let me just call a Fluber here.
Sorry, a Fluber?
Oh yeah, there's no private car ownership anymore, but the Flubers are actually pretty affordable if you don't use them too often. Look at that. There'll be one here in 9 minutes.
Oh,
Huh?
okay. So how did they cure the cancer? How'd they do that?
Right, cancer. Yeah,
Yeah.
they whipped it right up is what they did, and then as long as your Prime of Life subscription is up to date, you're set. They'll just give you the old shot.
I'm sorry. Prime of Life?
Oh, it's an Amazon product. Oh shit, our Fluber canceled because he got replaced by an AI and they mulched him.
Does that happen a lot?
Oh, it almost never doesn't happen. I thought we just got lucky this time.
Wow. Gotta tell you, Eli, future seems kind of lame.
Yeah, super disappointing,
lame.
bro.
Do not like
I
it.
mean, it's not all bad.
It's not?
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT can make you any porn movie you ask for in like 2 seconds. You guys want to see?
Yes, I do want to see that.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely. Yes.
Elizabeth Warren, sexy nun.
You got to wait till we get to the thing, man.
Well, tell me that next time.
When we left off, Tom was telling us about a cartoon no one under 40 remembers. So, Tom, what part of Thundar the Barbarian are we on in our own timeline?
The other way you get Captain Caveman, yeah.
All right, listen, what I really wanted to tell you guys about were some of the future forward exhibits at the 1939 New York World's Fair. This exposition was sloganed, Dawn of a New Day. and it encouraged visitors to take a look at the world of tomorrow. As quaint as this may seem, we do exactly this every year all over the world. Technology expositions showcase new technology from Vegas to Tokyo, and really, they're all engaged in the same kind of showcasing and dreaming as that 1939 world of tomorrow. The only difference really here being a touch of hindsight. Now, that said, gentlemen, sit back and enjoy, because the world as dreamt by the visionaries of the late 1930s is patently insane.
Yeah, and if you want to know how insane, let me remind you that they're hosting their Ain't the Future Bright conference 8 years into the Great Depression and a few months shy of the Second World fucking War. So,
Okay, but they nailed automatic toasters, you guys. They
No, they
nailed them.
did.
We all have
They
them
did.
now. And we all have one.
All right, so let's take, for example, this exhibit, Electro the Moto Man. This was built by the Westinghouse Company. Electro was a 7-foot tall, 265-pound robot. The wiki describes this thing as humanoid in appearance, but I'm going to drop a picture here and let you guys decide on that humanoid thing. Now, the big brains at Westinghouse really tricked out old Electro, be as close to human as they could, but it was 1939, so it's not super close at all. Most impressively, Electro did respond to voice commands to walk. He had about 700 words he could speak, powered by, fucking love this, a 78 RPM record player inside of his body.
That's awesome.
It's fucking huge. His photoelectric eyes could differentiate between red and green light, though like what utility that trick offered, I cannot possibly imagine.
Well, I mean, Tesla Autopilot, maybe take a page out of that. Robots.
He could move his head and arms. He could blow up a balloon, though undoubtedly he could not tie a knot in it. And the cherry on top, and I love this, is that he could, of course, smoke cigarettes.
He could smoke cigarettes? He had a 78 RPM record player and only understood 700 words. If this thing could drink a 12-pack of Old Milwaukee in 3 hours, it was my dad. It was my dad 100%.
by the way, listeners, Heath was not worried about AI taking his job until he found out they were making artificial tall people. And now I think he's a little frightened.
Now, also on exhibition at the fair was the world premiere of the fabric nylon. And this is a quote, a streamlined pencil sharpener, which drew quite the crowd, of course. The Viewmaster here was also introduced to the world, but my next real favorite was the introduction of Scent-O-Vision, the precursor to Smell-O-Vision. Smell-O-Vision is exactly what you think it is. So imagine that. You're watching a movie, and while the sights and sounds immerse you in a world of make-believe, and something's missing. What, you wonder, would the world of, say, Middle-earth smell like? Well, with Scent-O-Vision, you'd wonder no more, as up to 30 different scents could be programmed to be sprayed and then presumably linger and then mingle in the air in tune with the action of the film.
Bad idea. It's like doing all the sodas from the fountain thing. It's not going to be good. It always lands on sex, old people, and apple juice. It's a combo of those things every time somehow.
I think maybe old people were just fucking at your soda shop, Heath. I do not identify with that.
That's what I said.
Now, this idea was so awesome, actually, that there wasn't just Scent-O-Vision out there, but also the more refined Smell-O-Vision, General Electric's version, which they called Smell-O-Rama, and competitor systems, I love saying this one, Aroma-Rama.
Nice.
This insanity actually held on, and John Waters released his film Polyester in 1982 using his own stink technology called Odorama, though this was somewhat less high-tech. Audiences enjoying the sense of Polyester, the movie, were given a scratch and sniff card and cued by the film to take a whiff at appropriate moments. Odors included pizza, glue, gas, and feces, among others.
Admittedly, sniffing glue would probably make every movie you guys cover on your other podcast more enjoyable.
Can confirm.
And by the way, whenever you meet a fucking simp for capitalism and they start giving you the efficiency line, remind them that there used to be 5 companies competing for the non-existent smell your movies mark.
Of course, I would be remiss, given our intro here, not to include the General Motors exhibit called Futurama. The idea was to showcase a model city 20 years from 1939, a world characterized by vast highways and suburban sprawl. And while it's easy to kind of laugh that this was something new or even desirable, this really was a moment of true innovation. The idea to create a network of highways and expressways was integral not just to the sale of cars to the general public, but, as we all know, came to define the American landscape. They also envisioned some true innovations in cars themselves, with features like blind spot and lane change assistance, and also automated lane centering, a great feature that allows you to wrestle with your car's steering wheel rather than just smoothly pilot the goddamn car yourself.
Right? Told you they didn't have to fly, Eli.
Yeah, no, that's $20. $20.
The exhibit was a huge, and I mean huge, scale model of nearly every type of terrain in America, all showing a web of interconnected roadways connecting all parts of the country to one another. The highway system of the exhibit alone was spread out across an acre of space.
Wow.
There were over 500,000 individually designed buildings. There were 1 million trees of 13 distinct species. There were 50,000 cars. To see this exhibit, visitors took an 18-minute automated ride on a simulated airplane flying above the exhibit on a conveyor that seated 552 visitors at one time. 30,000 people a day saw this exhibit during the course of the exhibition. The goddamn thing sounded incredible, and GM got a lot right with it, though it was obviously, again, nothing compared to the streamlined pencil sharpener. There was also at the fair the first fully constructed computer game, the Nimitron. The Nimitron was a non-programmable digital computer that responded to players' choices using electromechanical relays in a dozen different patterns. The thing literally weighed a metric ton. It weighed a metric ton, and it displayed 4 lines of 7 light bulbs. Players took turns with the machine removing lights until all the lights were off. I don't understand how that's a game, but it was 1939 and fun hadn't been invented yet. And I guess, Noah, you can go ahead and correct me on all the details now in 3, 2, 1.
So the game
go.
is called NIM. It dates back to at least the 1500s. So it's probably worth noting that fun is a relative term, and games just had to be more fun than dying of the plague to survive back then. Other than that, though, I think you pretty much know. I think a lot of historians would argue that it wasn't truly a computer game, but yeah.
Now, cut to Eli busily searching eBay for an intact Nimitron for a Christmas gift for one of them.
Okay, well, based on past years, that'll be a broken Nimitron paid for with Western Union. Eli lost all his money.
I'm sorry for loving too much, Heath. Let me apologize for loving too much.
I love that broken Fairchild Channel F, Eli. I like it a lot.
Thank you. That's what it was.
Now, there was also the Bell Labs Voder. The idea here was to have a machine recreate the sounds of a human voice by breaking the voice down into its specific acoustic components. The thing was pretty limited by all accounts, and that makes sense, given how awful lots of modern computer-generated speech is even now. And the machine's operation was ridiculously complex. A trained operator might, after months of practice, produce recognizable speech, but nobody was fooled into thinking they were like chatting with a person when they really weren't. And this technology was actually intellectually foundational in the kind of automated speech processes that have given us automated voice answering systems and YouTube AI voiceovers. So it can go straight to hell.
Tom, I'm late coming to the notes this week, but I want you to know that if I had the time, I would clone your voice and have you apologize to the computers right here, just so you know. If I had the time.
Now, a quick aside here as well. I think we're very often tempted to think of people being really prudish in the 1930s, but there was just like a lot of nudity at this exhibition, like a lot.
Really?
There was a topless woman on display at the Frozen Alive Girl display. It doesn't describe, by the way, what the Frozen Alive Girl display was, except for that there was a Frozen Alive Girl. There were women topless and in very revealing costumes at Salvador Dali's attraction. which contained nearly nude performers posing as statues. And at the Bendix Lama Temple, they were having a hard time drawing an audience, so they just added in a show detailing the erotic temptations of a young Buddhist priest, which featured a number of fully nude women in the show.
Future atheists want. I think they nailed that one.
Yeah, no, they got us. Got us good.
Attendance did, in fact, go up.
Things got really crazy when they taped that fleshlight to the Electro, the Moto Man.
It turns out balloons weren't the only thing he could blow. Yeah. Cigarettes weren't the only thing he could suck. Yeah. That's what it was. They were making a blowjob machine. He goes, "This is for cigarettes, boss." It's
Why is it shaped like your dad? Because.
Now, finally, Westinghouse also had an exhibit that you can still see today. Kind of. The Westinghouse time capsule. It is not supposed to be open until the year 6,639.
That's fucking optimistic. That's optimistic.
Inside of it are writings by Einstein and Thomas Mann, copies of Life magazine, but no cereal, a Mickey Mouse watch, a Gillette safety razor, a Kewpie doll, $1 in coins, a pack of Camel cigarettes, and some microfilm with a bunch of shit on it that is certainly corroded into nothing right now. This capsule of trinkets and junk is buried 50 feet into the ground and marked by a small stone plaque. The coordinates are known and published, so if you wanted to, you could go visit it right now. Otherwise, you'll need to wait 5,000 years into the future to be disappointed.
All right. If you had to summarize what you learned in one sentence, what would it be?
That I need to be careful not to let Eli get a 3D printer, or I'm going to have to learn how to write skits.
Are you ready for the quiz?
Absolutely.
All right, Tom. According to drawings by futurist artist Jean-Marc Coté at the 1900 World's Fair, which of the following would be true in the year 2000? A. Firefighters would fly around with bat wings. B. We're going to train whales and seahorses in order to travel underwater.
How dope as shit.
How big are these seahorses?
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not
Either
clear.
maybe we're shrinking, Noah. Maybe
Oh,
we've got
that's
it back.
no, right.
Yeah, it might be that
Yeah.
they shrunk us or way
To be
bigger
fair,
seahorses.
Based on these drawings, he had never seen a seahorse.
No.
Right? There's only one.
Okay. Option C, we're finally going to be able to hunt and kill seagulls by scuba diving and then reverse fishing for those birds from underwater with our lines going up to the surface of the water. And then the seagulls will grab it and then, we got them. Also, we invent scuba to do that too. Yeah. Or D, all of the above.
Oh God! Well, I mean, you were kind enough to include images here, and I know the answers.
Or those are leading you off track, and I just made those
Oh,
myself.
yeah,
Maybe
it's possible.
he drew those.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like
They're
seagulls, so
Mid-Journey
I want the
images.
answer to be C, but I believe that it's D. All of the above.
You cracked my double bluff code. It was D, all of the above.
All right, Tom. What's the best porn movie about an android? A. The Sperminator. B. Pacific Rim Job. C. By Robot.
Nice.
Or D. The Dirt Devil and Mrs. Jones.
All right, Eli, that was some excellent punnage, sir.
Thank you,
Oh,
Cecil
God.
Ripton.
I feel like it's got to be Pacific Rim Job. That's so good.
I agree. Yes, correct.
All right, I have one last question for you, Tom. What actual thing do we have now that's at least as stupid as anything 1940s futurists had in mind? A. Crocs. B. God, I didn't
I
really
have
need
Crocs with
three more,
pictures of
but
my plug
B.
on them, so everyone needs to relax.
The question stands. All right, go on.
Stand when I stab you.
B. Crypto.
Yes.
C. Earbuds that turn themselves on and off pretty much whenever the fuck they feel like, so as not to burden you with the trouble of discrete fucking buttons on the side of them. Or D. Elon Musk.
Oh, did I write this question? I feel I've never felt so close to you. I've never felt so close to you, Noah. It's This is
Cars are
a
stupid.
secret answer. E.
They're all stupid.
It's all trash. The future is trash. The now is trash. E.
All right. Well, I feel like I won just because I made.
Okay, I don't know if I would have
feel so
picked an
close
answer
to me.
or there was an answer and then there was a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like that somehow Noah compared Crocs to crypto as like crypto is like Crocs of currency. It's just amazing to me.
Yes,
I love
right.
it.
Yeah.
All right, Noah, you're the winner.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, you get to be the SAS next week.
Sweet. All right. Well, for Noah, Eli, Heath, and Tom, I'm Cecil. Thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, I will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can listen to Tom and I on Cognitive Dissonance or Eli, Noah, and Heath on God Awful Movies. And if you'd like to help keep this show going, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod, because that's my job now. Or you could leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes. Be sure to check out citationpod.com.
Oh, that AI porn stuff was great.
Unbelievable.
Totally.
Right?
Hey, where's Heath?
Oh, he's still, in there.
I would like to hear more about proper taxation and a healthy capitalism. Absolutely.
Should I get it?
Don't touch the door.
No, you're right. That's fair.
Don't touch it.